For today's lesson, we're going to talk about reports and dashboards for the Lightning experience. You'll notice there are several different modules. Underneath this module, there are several different units. We're going to focus on this first unit and the second unit for the purpose of this demonstration. So the first unit is Introduction to Reports and Dashboard and Lightning Experience. And pretty much this gives you a good overview about reports and dashboards. And so what I want to cover is a few pieces of information I think are very important in this particular unit. So what is a report? In its simplest form, a report is a list of records. Basically, in Salesforce we have objects and custom objects as well. So you have things such as opportunities or accounts listed as an overall record. And so the report is in its simplest form. A report is a list of records, basically like opportunities or accounts that meet the criteria in which you define. In addition to that, you're also able to get data when you need it. You can filter it, you can group it, you can do a number of things in this reporting here. It's really important that you go back for a moment and review this video that provides information about reports and dashboards in a really easy to understand version. Now, what is a dashboard? A dashboard is a visual display of key metrics and trends for reports in your organization. The relationship between the dashboard and a component and a report is one-to-one. So for each dashboard component, there's a single source report. And so we'll learn more about this, but don't worry too much because we'll get to this. Like reports, dashboards are stored in folders which you can access, and so you'll see that once we go through this. Each dashboard has a running user, and so you'll learn more about how to manage users in this environment. Dynamic dashboards are dashboards for which the running user is always a logged-in user. This way, each user sees the dashboard according to their own level. So, for example, if you have a sales executive and a sales manager or a sales director, they may each have a dynamic dashboard that shows them something different potentially with this particular platform. So what is a report type? A report type is simply a template. This makes it easier to see and view and understand when you're reading the information and viewing it on your screen. So you'll actually get a chance to see this, and so all you have to do here is answer your questions, take a quiz, and we're going to move on to the next portion of this information. So I'm going to go all the way to the top, and I like to go to the drop-down menu to go to the second one in this case. So we're going to create reports with the report builder. Now this is a much longer type of way to really understand how to create a report and a dashboard. So we're going to create a report, and so lots of information here. So we're going to do a number of things, and so you'll be able to read all this information and really have a chance to talk about how a report will allow us to see more information in the Salesforce environment. And so I'm going to go all the way down here to the bottom and just talk about a little bit of these filters. So you'll see this as it relates to your environment. There are standard filters, field filters, filter logic, cross filters, and row limits. And so you'll have information in the environment that will talk about and ask you to set up a standard filter or potentially a cross filter. And so that'll be information we probably won't get to in our class, but it's important for us to know that is a way you can actually create a report. Now, there are a number of information here that basically go through the steps of being able to create a new report, and we will do this in our own environment for the playground. So here, I'm going to retake this challenge. And the goal is we're trying to develop a report type, report name, a range, include these fields, add this filter, and of course we're going to save this report. So I'm going to launch the playground to do just that. So as you would in your regular environment, you'll see information here. So you'll actually get a chance to, in the very top of your playground, you'll see reports and dashboards. So reports is where we'll go. So we'll go to the report area and click into this report. As we click into the report, I'm going to move this over just a little bit to see a little bit more information here. But you're going to create a new report. In the new report, you're going to look for a report type, and we're looking for leads. Now, there is an easy way that you simply can type in the word leads, but let's just kind of find it in this drop-down menu. So once you see leads, you will hit continue. In the continue area, we're going to move this over just a bit for you to see what I'm doing. And so now we have to do a report name. So you'll see this pencil here allows us to change the name of our report. So I'm going to click this pencil, and now you can see I can edit this. I will backspace what's in here, and I will type in web leads. And I will simply move my cursor over, and now you'll see I have web leads, and the name of the report type is leads. So here on the left-hand side, you'll see a number of areas that allow you to do an outline or filter. We're going to find out this area called range. So you'll see that it gives you information here, show all leads, create the date filter to all times. And so here, I'm going to go into this area here because I want my range to be all times. So I'm going to click here, and so that actually allows me to click into my range of all times. Next, I'm going to include this filter. So I'm going to see I have a number of filters here, and so you see all time is already connected because we did it earlier in the window. So I'm going to find lead owner, and I'm going to click lead owner. Each time I click a filter, I will have to hit the word apply. Next, I'm going to click lead source. So I need to find lead source, so I will make it a little easy for myself and just type in the first word lead. So now I'll find lead source. After lead source, so I'll see all these things here, and I know I want to find out lead source here, equals here. This drop down menu will give you other options, but we're going to use the equals, and we're going to equal it to web. Now we'll apply. The next area will allow us to find ratings, and so to make it easy for ourselves, let's just type in the word rating. Now we see rating is auto populated. So now what we've done is that we found out that we want to be able to include all of those fields into our report. So I've already added my field here for equals to, so I'm simply going to hit apply. And at this point, I will leave the report I will save the report in this folder. And so you have to go here. So I have to open up my screen a little bit more to go here where you'll see these options on the right. You'll have save, run, and you'll have this word save. So I'm going to only click save. When I click save, it shows me that I have already adjusted my web lead. It already gives me a kind of a unique API. And just because I want to make sure you can put information in here that could distinguish what this report is, I'm not going to for this demonstration. You can also select folder, but I'm going to simply keep it at private reports, and that's what it auto populates. And now I will hit save. And you'll notice it creates a web lead was saved, and this environment allows me to do a good bit. So we simply just created a report. So now let's go back to the launch for our playground, and we'll see if we did it right. And so what we're going to do now is to check challenge to earn our 500 points. Only takes a few moments, but it needs to check over and make sure we did everything right. And if we didn't do something correctly, it'll send us back an error message for us to go back to. And the way this works is that, as you know, in class, we've been working in our playground for the last couple of months and weeks. And so we're familiar with this environment. Now we're just doing something different. So now I've earned my 500 points in reports and dashboard for Lightning Experience.